So I'm looking at the ship and the upgrades, what I need to do, and I want to build something for me that, as an industrial player, I wanted something that had a bit of shields to it and something that was fast at traversing across the planets and had enough quantum efficiency to be able to do that. So yo, my Star Citizens and Noob Gamers, I'm Minix, let's get into it. So I'm going to go through what I've sort of worked out and what I've done with my build. I'm going to bring this up on Urkel. Okay guys, so I'm over here at Urkel, where I'm going to do this and do my calculations. So I've got the Asgards selected here, and then I've got another Asgard that I've built up on slot 1. Now, first thing I want to do is, as an industrial player, I want to make sure I can go further distances and that I have good shields. Weapons will become secondary, like they're not something I'm really worried about. I just want to make sure I've got good shields and a good quantum drive, because the most times I'm going to be using the quantum drive. 99.9% I'm going to be it's more about the quantum drive, because I don't feel like I'm going to get attacked too much. It's going to be more about this, and so that's the first thing I'm going to concentrate on. Now what we have to look at is, I used to do this type of stuff when we had the triangle building up a thing, and I've not touched it since. So now that we've got the nav mode and the SCM mode, the new mods that we had, or the new mods we had, it's all about power management now and stuff like that. Power management and cooling management. And so we're going to start look at that as well. We're going to have to look at these numbers and build from that. Now, it already is a really, really good ship as it is. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think of its original build and what I'm going to build up here for me. So the first thing I'm looking at here is the maximum speed, 201,000, and the maximum distance is 115 George Michaels. So first thing I want to do is change this. Now, we can't get these military ones anywhere as far as I know. It's something I'm going to have to look at. So what I'm looking at is I want to make sure I add some speed and some distance. So I'm looking at these two here, this Himera and Hurricane. And so what we look at here is if I'd done a distance of 40 George Michaels, which is probably about average of what we do, you're looking at 3 minutes 49 seconds to get there. So if we go over the Himera, we're going to knock almost a minute off that. Literally only 2 seconds from a minute. And we're adding another 53 George Michaels onto that. So that's like another journey. So that's a really good one to be looking at. Also, we've got to look at the power consumption here and the cooling consumption, and the Himera is the same, 6 and 6. And then I'm looking at the Hurricane, and if you see here, the Hurricane only knocks 2 seconds off, but it's 20 George Michaels less than the Himera. So I think the better one to go to here is the Himera. Also, the Hurricane here has another power point and cooling point added, and it's only 50 more on the health points, and it's got a bigger EM signature on it. So definitely for me, I think I'm going to jump with, and the cooling time, downtime is a lot more as well. So I'm definitely going to go with the Himera here. So I'll pick the Himera, 6.6 as well. And then here it tells where we're going. I'm near Orison, so I'll grab it from Orison. And so, saying that, I think I've just come out of the game because I was sat in here too long, and so I may end up having to go back over to Orison later. So that's that sorted. We have got to keep in mind now that our radar's got a signature power usage and cooling usage. This does. These have power usage. These coolers have power usage. The power plants have cooling usage, and then the shields will have power and cooling usage, and the guns will have power usage. So in our points that we get, we have to sort of work within that with these two modes as well. So first thing is, in nav mode, the power usage for me is going to be a lot less, so I won't have guns and I won't have shields. So my power usage is only going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for my main thrusters, and then my quantum drive and my radar and my life thing. So that is probably where I'll be with my power consumption and cooling consumption when I am in the nav mode here. And if we look here, my quantum is 6 on the power and cooling, and the radar is 3. So as long as I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on my cooling and 3 on my cooling and then 6 on my cooling, 12, 15. I only need 15 on my cooling. So what we do is we look at the cooling here and the cooling generation, and this just one alone will be enough. I could turn those off, even though that's gone down. Oh, saying that, no, I missed this. So we also need 38 here. So we need 38, 39, 40, 41, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53 we need. So let's do another one of those. That's 40, and then do another one of those. 50, that's more than 50, that's more than enough there. So that would be sufficient for everything in SCM mode. So I think we don't need to worry about SCM mode. We need to worry more about the nav mode. We need to worry more about the SCM mode. And so that's what we're going to do. So my next task is, like I was saying, I want better shields. Now, this is where it gets tricky because we've got to balance these now. So we already know we've got 38 here that we need to cater for in power and cooling. Now, this is going to give 20 units of power on both of these, so that should be 40. You can see here you can't pick up any other ones. And then we're looking at the cooling as well. The cooling, we're going to need 19 for our cooling. But even though it says that there's going to be 40 on the power generation, it only actually gives us 24. So there's other things obviously taking power from somewhere. So we've got to look at these, each one of these dots being 1, and then obviously this is 6. So you've got blocks, which means you need at least 6 to be able to have that block, or 3 to have that block, or you have single ones. Obviously it's better if you've got single ones because then you can balance out your power usage a little bit more. So I'm not going to touch the power plants. The one that comes with it is fine. It's 19 on here with a 20 output. We could bring it down to the Cirrus here, and you'll see here it goes from 24 to 23 at the Cirrus, but the output or the cooling need is 17, so it's 2 less. And so again, if we do that and go down to the Cirrus, we're on to 22. So we're losing 2 on our power to gaining 4 on our cooling. But saying that, the cooling, knocking 4 off the cooling is not going to be enough to actually make a difference. I'd rather take the 2 points that we need for the power, so I'll reset that and keep them on there. And so the next step is to look at the shields and the cooling. Now, for me, the power is not going to be as important. It's going to be all about the cooling. And so what we need to do is, we've got 4 power use there and 4 cooling need there on each of those. So we need to try and bring them down. The good thing about these full stops is they are singles, so we can just add them singly rather than having a big number like we've got here, having to do a big number first. But we need to sort of balance it out better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, we've got 4,700 health points, and the recharge, if we go back to here to the basics, the recharge is at 69 here. So what I'm going to look at is the rampart here, and take the rampart back down. It's going to be 60 odd seconds. If we had all ramparts, it's going to be like 60 odd seconds. But you'll see we need at least 3 for each one of them to be used. So that's, you know, already you're taking up a lot of your cooling and power on that, because the minimum power you need for each one of them is 3. So you're taking a lot of your power from there, which is going to give you nothing for your coolers here. So the ramparts are not going to be as good for us to have, because we're going to have to then take some of this away and this away to be able to add the power we need to that. But you see here, we're going to be left with not much on our guns and our thrusters here, just to have the basic 31-second regen time on our ramparts. So what I'm going to do is, if I reset this and I put a rampart in and I put a 7MA I'm looking at here, the civilian one, it's got a 2 minimum and a 3 minimum. So the 2 minimum means that it'll be, the first one will be a 2, and then the second one, and then but there's a maximum of 3. So the first one will be a 2, and then there'll be another 1 for the 3. So we'll grab that, and then you'll see here the 7MA and the full stop, which is the stock one that we get, is got the same health points, but it takes about 4 seconds longer to regen. But the good thing is it's only a 3 power and a 3 cooling need on it, so we can definitely have the same power, so it's 4 seconds longer to regen, but we're getting the same health points and saving some of these. Now we could have all 7MAs in there and save 4 cooling and bring it down, but again, it won't make much difference. So what I want to do is, because I want to actually add something to my shields, I'm going to have 2 ramparts and I'm going to have 2 7MAs there. And if we take all that off and bring it back to normal, so we're looking at around 28 to 30 seconds on the 2 different drives, or the 2 different shield generators. We've got 2 left on here that we can use elsewhere. So I will always take off, obviously your quantum gets turned off, so you're getting 6 points back there. In fight mode, if I'm fighting, I'll switch that on and off, this radar thing on and off. If I'm actually fighting, then I'll probably turn that off if it's not needed. I'm not too sure whether that works. You guys can let me know. I presume that's just really needed when I'm looking around for stuff using my... Actually, I might need that, saying that. I actually might need that. So that's something else to look at that we need as well. If I'm trying to run away from somebody, then I'll turn it off and just try and quantum out, if it allows me to do that. I'm not too sure if it will actually. So I think that might be a must as well. So that being said, we now have saved 2 on our cooling. That's the main one, is the cooling here. And so our cooling needs is actually 38 here, plus another 4, so that's 42. Another 4 here, 46, 49, 52, 58, 61. So our cooling needs with all this lot is 61. And if we look at here, these Arctics here, if we was to fully fill them up, so if I take this down and fully fill them up, you're talking 28.6 on each one of these, with a 4 power consumption needed on it. So what I would do is I'm going to look at bringing these down so we don't have the 4s, so the power usage of 4, so it gives me some of these points back. And so I'm going to look at the first one. I'm going to look at an icebox. Stealth B is going to give me 20 points of cooling, and it's going to have a usage max of 2 and goes up in increments of 1. So we'll pick that one first, and that's going to give me 20. And you can see here I've got 2 dots out, so I can take one of them off if I need to. Then I'm going to look at bringing this down more, so maybe bringing them down to a 3. And so I'll look here at a ice drive. So it's a 3 maximum and a 3 minimum. So if I click that, as you see now, we've got a 3. So I know I'm going to need at least 6 when I'm in my nav mode. I'm going to need at least 6 on my cooling. So, sorry, not 6, sorry. I'm going to need at least 28 and 28, that just to cover this and the drive here and this here. So I'm going to have 2 of these 28s, but I'm going to change, you see here, if I go back to SCM mode, I'm going to change this to an ice drive because we're getting 28. If we go back to nav modes, actually, you can see we're getting 28 and 28 on them both, but this one here is the power consumption of 4, so I could save a dot on this one. Saying that, I could do it like that. See, if I take it to a 3, it's gone down to 21, so I need 4 just to get it to the same temperature, to the same power usage. So I'm going to have 2 ice drives. That means it's going to cost me 6 for 28 instead of 8 for 2 lots of 28. And with that, then we got 28, 40, 56. 56, and I can drop one of them down, so we got 66, which is more than enough for our cooling usage that we needed. And we've still got 1 dot left, so that's what we've got at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also go through my guns here, and so I'm going to switch over to here. So this is the loadout that I've got now. So it's going to be the Maelstrom, which I said, and then it's going to be the Rampart, the 7MA, the Rampart 7MA, and then Icebox, Ice Drive, the Hemera, and the Surveyor. And you can see there, when you turn the Surveyor off, you don't have the power usage of that. So I brought down the shields to the basic here, 28 and 32, 28 and 32. What did I have it on here in SCM mode? Yeah, there, same. 28, 32, 28, 32. So I've got my guns on full. I've got 3 on my thrusters. I've turned off my quantum drive in SCM mode. I've turned off the radar. I may have to reconfigure that and have the radar on, which means I might have to get rid of that, maybe 2 of that and that. Get 3 to put on that if I need it. But the main thing is having something on my shields. Now I could, if I was running away, I could turn that off, and them off, and full on that, and have 23 and 20 on here. It's going to save 8 seconds, as you see there, on that one to regen, and a ton on that one, like 10 seconds on that, and then 10 seconds on that as well. But for now, just when I'm flying around in SCM mode, I'm going to have it like this, with this on as well. Probably like, not like that, yeah, probably like that, with that on. And, or if I'm not in a fight, I'll maybe switch them off and have them to there. I'll just play around with them, switching them between these two, but always have my shields on and always have this on. If I need more shield, then I'll take my guns off, or this off, and add it to the guns there. So what I've done in the weapon wise is I've added a sucker punch to the 2 dual pucks. So there's 2 of these on the side, and there's 2 sucker punch distortion cannons on there. Now the reason I'm going for distortion cannons is, once you break down the shield, then you could maybe knock out the power, which will buy you some time. I've got an M5A and an M5A there, so I've got laser cannons for distance, and then I've got the Panthers laser repeaters there, 2 of those as well, size 3, size 3, size 3, size 3, size 3. So, and then obviously you got your man turret, the Rhino. If I don't have somebody with me, then that's useless to me. And then you've got your arrestor. I mean, I could take that off and gain a point back, maybe. I'm not too sure. And then you've got your arrestor missiles. I've just left them bog standard. So you guys can let me know what you think of this setup. I'm going to go and buy these parts and do some flying around with it, and I'll add that into the end of this video. But you guys can let me know. So buying these, just click on here and it'll tell you the places. I think a lot of them I've worked out here that I can get the ice boxes, the Hermana, the 7MAs, and the Sucker Punch, and the M5As, all on Orison. The last one of those, the M5As, being at the showroom, the Orison showroom, where they've got the C2s, the showroom of the C2s. If you don't know where that is, it's when you come out of your main building, when you first come into the Habs, you go out the Habs door and you just go straight down over the bridge. Then there's like the showroom there for the C2s, and that's where you can get those. And then the other ones obviously are at the Cousin Crows over at the industrial area on Orison. And then at Port Tressler you can get the ice drives, 2 of those over at Port Tressler. I think that's the only place you can get them. Yeah. And then you've got New Babbage for the ramparts here. New Babbage there, or some of these like the Hurels or the gateways and stuff like that. We're probably looking at 137, 170, 180, 260, 300, 450-ish thousand we're looking at. So just around 500,000 to get all of them and all of these and this. But yeah, I'm going to play around with this. And for me, like I said, it's all about this Hermana, getting some speed and some distance for my cargo running, and then making sure I've got enough on my cooling. Even if, like I say, I can turn one of these off, because my cool output here is 40, 56, 57, around 57, and I think if I need to, I could play around with this and add more to it. I can add another 10 or 20 to it. Yeah, so what is it? It's 4, 7, 14, 24, 34, 48, 57 there on that, 57 on there, 63, 69. That one you don't need to, so 63. 60. So I think we're looking at 60, aren't we? Around 60. So we're close to it. So we may have to figure out about putting one of these back on. Maybe take it off that one and add it to that one instead, and that gives us our efficiency to full. We'd have to look at how it deals with it, but by having the two separate types lets us play around with that. Yeah, guys, let us know what you think of it. Are you looking at some setups the same? Would you look at setting up your stuff? Let us know your comments, our thoughts in the comments. And so what I'm going to do now is jump into the game. I'm going to buy these and then see what it's like. Like I said, for me, nav mode is the main mode I'm going to be in, and that's more than enough with the cooling. I could turn the cooler off. You know, I don't need that much cooling because I could turn the guns off if I need to. So yeah, I've got more than enough points left because you're not using the shields and the guns. But I definitely wanted some sort of balance on this, so that mainly the shield, mainly had a bit more on my shield. So I've added, like I say, a good 4,000 to my shield. It's almost like adding another shield at this point. It's like adding a 5th shield to it by having the extra. So that's it, yeah, guys. I'm gonna jump into the game. Okay, I'm over at Amiga Pro in Noobs. So let's pick up these ramparts here. I think I may have already bought some ramparts. I think I may have already bought them. I think I've already bought those, 2 of those already. Might have even bought 4 of them. So I think I've already bought those. So I'm going to buy 2 of these 7MAs. 14 grand for them. Cool. And then let's have a look at the coolers. See what they've got here. Nice flash. Full flash. Flash back here. Chain snow pack. Okay. And let's have a look at what they've got power plant wise. I'm not changing the power plant, but I'm going to have a look. Search. I am burst. Industrial M. Okay, quantum drives. Okay, so that's that. As I think I've already bought 2 ramparts. Already bought 2 ramparts, so let's move on to the next one. So let's go to the gun shop, which is across the way. Okay, sensor mass here to buy the weapons. Let's have a look what we got here. Guns, weapons, guns, and then we want the sucker punch. Sucker punch XL, we'll buy 2 of those. Okay, and then we want M5s. M5 cannon, buy 2 of those. Cool, that's our guns bought.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
And we bought the ramparts and the 7 MA. So we only need now the ice box, ice drive, and hammer. Let's do it. Let's go and get these on the ship.
Please visit us again.
Okay, so I'm over at New Babbage, got my vehicle. Remember, don't bring it out, just make sure it's put away in the hangar.
Ready to
Anvil
upgrade.
Asgard.
Located
Deliveries,
in the plaza,
propulsion,
the
we won't
factory line
change,
has
coolers,
all of Microtech's
weapons,
latest offerings.
miscellaneous. So I've got a couple of things I could put on that in a different place. Right, so systems. We've got the snowpack on the moment. Snowpack and the snowpack.
For the latest updates on ship availability,
So we've got nothing
and
on our
data
coolers.
signals,
We keep the
please
maelstroms
use
on
one
the
of the conveniently
snowpack.
located terminals.
And then I did buy the Hurricane, but I'm going to change that out to the other one. Shield generators, like I said, I've got 2 ramparts.
Be sure
So
to
what I'm going to do is I'm going to
explore all
change
New
one
Babbage
of
has to
them
offer,
to
whether
this
it's the
7
latest in
here
cutting-edge
and this
technology
the 4th
or
one
the
to this
beauty
7
of our
MA.
award-winning gardens.
I'm going to
This
save
city of
that.
tomorrow has
And
a
then we're
lot
going to
going
go
on
to vehicle
today.
weapons, and in the turrets here, weapon Panther repeater. See where's the 2 slot
Microtech,
1 gimbal.
The Empire's
let's have a look.
leader in cutting-edge technology,
Uh,
where creative innovation meets innovative creativity.
left wing Panther repeater. So let's bring on a cannon there, and then a cannon there.
From all of us at Microtech, welcome to the New Babbage Interstellar
And then on the
Spaceport.
turret weapon, we're going to go for sucker punch there, and the sucker punch there. And then, so left wing,
Tired of travel? Why not rest at the Nest's newly renovated
I need to
accommodations,
not
located
actually do that.
downtown in the
I
luxurious
need to look at this.
Sapphire Ground.
So, turret yellow jacket Gatling, weapon left wing M5A, weapon nose the dual mount thing. So that's where I want to put the sucker
For the
punches
latest
actually.
updates on ship availability and gate assignments, please use one of the conveniently located terminals.
So on the weapon nose mount dual thing, I want the 2 sucker punches. So that one, and then on slat 1, I want the sucker
Remember,
punch.
your belongings
M5
belong
cannon
to you.
on the left
Keep
wing.
a careful watch on all personal
On
items.
the left wing here, I want the Panther repeater. Why is it left wing on
Microtech,
both?
the Empire's leader in cutting-edge technology, where creative innovation meets
Turret weapon
innovative
slot
creativity.
2. Rhino repeater. Rhino repeater. That's a turret.
Microtech, the Empire's leader in cutting-edge
Yellow
technology,
jacket Gatling.
where creative innovation
Another
meets
one then.
innovative creativity.
M5 cannon.
Looking for a good time?
I'm trying to
Be
figure
sure
out
to
which
visit
what
Wally's bar
on
at
it.
the promenade. Only a quick ride on the metro loop.
That's the manned turret. That's the left wing. And that's the left wing. And that's the left wing.
Ready to upgrade? Located in the plaza.
I don't get it.
Factory
I would
line
like
is all of
there's 3
Microtech's
left
latest
wings.
offerings.
Left wing. Panther repeater. Panther repeater. So
Be
on
sure
that
to
one we'll go
explore
sucker
all
punch
Noobs has to offer.
again.
Whether it's the latest in cutting-edge
Oh, that's on
technology
that, innit?
or the beauty of our award-winning
Slot 2,
gardens,
sucker
this
punch.
city of tomorrow has a lot going on today.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on here with this. Bring it up again. Vehicles. The ship from the Asgard.
From all of us at Microtech, welcome
Right,
to the new
vehicle
Babbage
weapons.
Interstellar Spaceport.
So weapon, left wing.
Yeah?
Remember, your belongings belong to you.
We'll go for the
Keep a careful watch on all personal items.
Hey.
5 cannon.
They don't know if it was stolen or what, but it
Nose here, we'll go turret weapon slot 1 is going to be
From the
the
best
sucker
in shopping,
punch.
dining,
Turret weapon
and
slot 1 is
entertainment.
going to be the sucker
Be
punch.
sure to visit New Babbage's
Then the
renowned
left wing we're going to
promenade.
go for M5 cannon and then leave the rest. Panther repeater, left wing. Even though it says left wing and left wing is, I don't know what's the right wing and what's the left wing. Just saying,
Microtech,
save that.
the Empire's leader in cutting-edge technology.
So now we need to
Where
pick up
creative
the
innovation meets innovative
coolers. So we need to head
creativity.
over to Dressler for the first one.
Welcome. To the ASOP, your vehicle has been moved to our stop. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
So here I am at Port Tressler. I'm going to go and buy the ice drive here, I think it is.
Evil system. Please visit us again.
Do I need 2 of them or 1? Ice drive 2.
Accommodations, tour Empire-class shipyards, and bars.
Hey.
Systems.
What?
Ice drive, 2 of those. Let's make sure the quantum drive thing isn't here. No, then Sunfire. Nope. Okay.
Yeah?
15k unit. Oof. SCU, but in single
What?
things. Right. Cool. So that's that done.
Tour Empire-class shipyards, and bask in a sunset that is truly unforgettable. Whether you're just looking to spend the day...
What I need to do now is
Attention.
go and check out my thing. So yo, my star citizens, welcome back to Noob. So yo, my star citizens, welcome to. So yo, my star citizens and noob gamers. I'm Minix. Let's get into it. Right, so let's do this, guys. Let's change this around. Let's have a look at my landing vehicles. Asgard. Weapons. I want to change. There was an M5 cannon and a sucker punch, so let's unequip that there. Unequip that there. this one as the sucker punch, put this one as the M5. Let's save that. No, that needs to be back as it was. That needs to be the sucker punch. That needs to be the sucker punch. That's the turret slot, yeah. That needs to be the sucker punch. That M5 needs changing with this Panther repeater here. Unequip. And make that the M5 instead. Make that the Panther repeater. Right, so we want to go to the systems here as well. Systems, and we want to go to the coolers, and we want to put in the two ice drives. There we are. Two ice drives, save those. So I've just got the last one to put in, which is going to be the ice. Ice box. The ice box is the last one to get. Let's go and get it.
At Orson Skyway Shuttle Service, we aim to make getting there.
So here I am over at Orison, and we need to go over to the Providence platform.
The next shuttle.
Now, if you need to come and get the M5s from over here, where I was saying earlier, I picked mine up already, but you go over that way onto that platform over there.
Approaching next station. If this is your stop, please prepare to disembark.
The next shuttle is approaching the station. Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
Okay, so we over at the Providence platform, and what we've got to do now is we're going to look for the place where we go and get the stuff. So we're just up these stairs here and round. Saying this, I've not been here probably since 318, 319, something like that. And around here, and there should be some stairs. And down there. Some crows.
If anyone has eyes on paint drone G567R1, please contact ops at once. Again, we are looking for paint drone G567R1.
Let's go and buy the other bits we need. So in here we need to buy the other ice system, cooler, and then let's see, is it just up here on the app? Box, that's the one. Buy, we'll need one of them. Okay, and then we also need the quantum drive, which is the Chimera. There. Quick buy of that as well. Okay, cool. Left with 4 million now. So that's everything that we need. Let me add them to my ship now. Vehicle. Asgard. Systems. So ice drive. So this cooler 3 now needs to be the ice box. And save that. And then the vehicle weapon, not weapon, sorry, systems. I'll keep the same quantum drive. We'll change from the Hurricane to Chimera. Save it changes. That's that. Then we've got the Ramparts, the 7MA, and the Rampart 7MA. So that's it. Now the weapons, I think I've sorted out. We'll find out in a minute.
Welcome.
You guys can let me know where I'm going wrong with it. But basically, it's saying left wing. So it's saying near the nose turret here, slot 2, sucker punch, slot 1, sucker punch. But here it's got weapons, left wing.
Let me know if there's anything
Panther.
I can help you with.
And then there's the thing, and then we've got left wing, Panther, left wing, cannon, left wing, weapon, cannon. So it's hard to see where we're supposed to be putting them. So I think I've played around. I had them on the same one, but the cannons were both on the right side of each of the things. And then I changed it again, and then we had both the cannons in the same side, the same slots basically, on the same side. So you had two cannons on the left and the other things on the right. So we got to the point now, I think maybe... Where am I going? I was there already, where I needed to be. I need to be over this side, I think. And so yeah, so I'm hoping this time. I've got myself lost here now. I'm hoping this time now we are in the right place. Like, are we in the right place?
Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to
View center, spaceport, that's where we want. Ooh, run, slide, jump, in.
Please clear the hatch. Shuttle will be
We're
departing.
in. So hopefully that's it now. I can go and check it out and then maybe have a play around with the power management of it and see where we are, and then have that saved then as every time it turns on, that's what it is. Okay, moment of truth. Did I get my guns in the right place? No. No. They need swapping, like, so this cannon needs swapping with the Panther, and I'm gonna get it right.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieve. Your vehicle has been. Please visit us again.
So there we are, guys. I've got the distortion cannons here on the front, and I'm on the front. There's the distortion cannons. There's the manned turrets with the Gatlings on, and then I've got the M5s on the sides and the laser repeaters in the middle of that. So let's go and do some power management on this. Right, so all 6 guns are now
online. Quantum fuel is 100%.
on there. So shields now, you can see we've got the shields. We can drop that down to there. Actually, yeah, drop that down to there. Turn the guns on. Have them full for now. Let's make sure we've got that on. If it can we go on. Will allow me to put that on. So we want that on and that on, that one off. So that one on, that one on. Means I have to turn one of them down, I think. Actually, on attack mode, I'll take the engines down and then add the cooler in there. Oh yeah, because they're 3, the coolers, not 2. So there we are. So that's my 2 coolers on and the other one off. I think I might have to add one of them on there, the coolers actually. So I might have to take one of the guns off again and add just one of them on there for the coolers. Cool, that's it. Let's go.
Landing gear raised. Shields offline.
So while I'm going into the air now, I'm going to set it here. So on the gimbal, the nav mode, I'm going to have this set to full. And I want the coolers all on. I want the quantum on. I want the live support on if it can be turned on. That's it. Left with one. There we are. I turn the radar off, do I lose? So yeah, it looks like I could still do quantum jumping with the radar off. So I'm going to just jump away from here. My quantum fuel 1.1 should update.
Quantum drive is now on.
Okay.
Quantum drive is now.
So I just want to test the weapons and how fast the shields come up. So the shields are going on now. F. So they come on fast when you've got this full. So that's really good to know. I think I can have that turned off. I'll have to check, see if it can be. Because then if that can be, then that can be full. I'd have to check, make sure. I don't think I can use my ping, but can I see other stuff? That's what I need to find out. So I need to be where somebody is. And then I think I can turn one of these off on that and have that on my guns. I need my guns on this. Turn them off. Guns on like that. So if they're full, it goes to 72, 21, 22, 23, 24. 72 and 24, and that's not full. If it's full, 96 and 32. So if I do need the radar on, I may have to take the shield down one. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep the shield up. So I may have to take this down one. Cooling not be enough if I do that. Yeah, cooling's not critical. So I'd have to have my cooling on full. Looks like. And radar on. And the cooling's down, so I'd have to take that, 2 of those off, or 1 of those off. But then it's going to bring it down to just under half on this. So yeah, it's definitely something to look at, what I can do with the power management of getting more on it. So let's have a look. Distortions, cans, they're all running, yeah. All of them running, cool. So I have, because I have a pad, I have more than one. And I know the distortion cannons don't do damage to the shield, but I'm hoping like, they get the shield off. Yeah, cool. And there's probably ways of being able to select just like I bet I can set a voicing up that'll say distortion cannons or something, and it'll set a certain group for that, like group 1, and pick group 1 only. So I'll have to sort that out. But that's that. My power management looks fine. If I keep it like that for now, I mean my thrusters is all be fine. It's just how much it recovers depending on how much you have on it. My cooling's all good, so it's up there. If I take one of them off, it goes to medium. That could be added to this to bring them up. And if I don't need that, I'm not too sure if I do, when I'm fighting, I can add that to that, and then the coolers as well. But I may need the radar, I'm not too sure. It's something I'd have to look at. So let me pick up a job where I can do that then maybe. Just a quick, and I can test that. Contracts, bounty hunting thing. I'll accept that for now. Mercenary. Single seater craft, yeah, that's what we want. Very low risk. Okay, let's do it. Cool, right, cool. Let's take this one.
Shields offline. Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now on.
So that thing was quite fast at cooling down there. It's not too bad. That's good. Quantum drive. And it's done alright with its fuel as well. Done really well with its fuel. That should be off.
Quantum drive is now
Should be on that. And then when we go to the other mode, where is this gone?
Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now on.
Okay, here we go. Let's see how these weapons do once we come out of here and go into our arm
Quantum
mode.
drive is shields online. Okay.
Right, now what I need to try here is if I was to turn off my... Oh. If I was turning off my radar, would they disappear? That's the thing. Looks like they have. So I do need my thing on. Yeah, so it needs to be on. Okay. So, if that needs to be on... Ooh. Better be a bit careful, aren't I?
Okay.
Alright, so if that needs to be on, my guns also need to be on.
Weapons online.
What do I need to take off? I have to take one of them off, I think. Just have my coolers just be enough. I may have to relook at the shields and stuff like that. It's something I'm going to do. Okay.
Docking initiated. Docking denied. Okay. Landing gear deployed. Docking initiated. Docking denied. Landing gear raised.
You know what, guys? I don't even know how to fire my missiles. I've totally forgot how to fire my missiles. Oh my word. How crazy is that?
Okay.
I don't know how to fire my missiles. There we are. That's it.
Okay. Lock. 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 Shields hit.
That's why we want our shields up.
Okay. I thought it was supposed to be a single-seater fighter. I thought it was a single-seater fighter. That was supposed to be getting. Shields hit.
Oh, yeah. I've not done battle since the new upgrades have come. See, I think I've took his shields out now and knocked his engines out. It feels like I may have done. Definitely took some engine out there, I know. Now he's just going to drop to the floor. That's why the distortions are good. messed with the wrong man. So they did alright actually to say I've got a I could maybe try and get another one on if I can. Try and figure out if I can get another one on. I'm not happy about the whole having to go in there for him. I'll have to go in there for him. I've never been here, me. Arthur place. Never been here. It's a new place to me, this. Turn engines off.
Engines offline. Landing complete. Shields hit.
I've got 7 bullets left. 7 bullets left. What? Shot through my door. The guy shot through my door. So that's the end of that one, guys. I'm going to leave this video here. Got shot through my door. I've never been to these Hawthorne places, but yeah, I got a good test there. I'd like to have my weapons full, so I may look a little bit more at that. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comment section, guys, and yeah, see you guys at the verse.